Hello, welcome to Academic Excellence. This is Exponential Equation Lesson 2. Please, if you have not yet watched Lesson 1, I recommend go and watch it because it will help you greatly to understand Lesson 2. Thank you. And before we proceed, please subscribe to this channel, like, share, and also comment, right? Let me know your difficulties that you are facing. Let me give you again key advice. Please find a book, a pen, or if not a book, a paper, and also a pen. Practice as I solve, right? Practice along with me. Thank you. In lesson 1, we discuss on exponential equation leading to linear equation. Lesson 2, now we'll be discussing about exponential equation leading to quadratic equation, right? Good. Now we go straight forward in solving. But before we solve, let me just give you the solving step of exponential equation leading to quadratic equation, right? These are the solving steps, right? First step, say, first simplify all the base that have a power that is a letter into the basic term. What it means, any base that you see that has a power, that its power has a power that is a letter, that means to simplify that base into a basic term. Second step says, put the basic base, right, and the lettered power into a bracket and the number power outside the bracket. It means the basic base, the base that you have simplified into the basic term, put it into a bracket, including the power that is a letter, and the power that is a number outside the bracket. That's what he's saying, right? 3, we let any letter with the digit inside the bracket. So the basic term that you have put inside the bracket with a letter, you let it with any letter, right? 4th says, solve the quadratic equation. At the end of the day, you'll be having a quadratic equation, and now you should solve for it, right? But before you solve quadratic equation, you must first have understanding how to solve quadratic equation. If you don't know, I recommend you go and watch on this channel. I precisely taught on that topic. The last step is find the value of the lettered power, right? It means the power that is a letter, find its value. That's the last step and final, right? Good. Now we proceed to solving question. Thank you. Now we go. Example 1. Solve 4 raised to the power x plus 2 equals to 3 into 2 raised to the power x. Do you see? Good. In lesson 1, I explained to you how to identify that this given mathematics question is an exponential equation. I explained where I said anytime you see a power that is a letter or a variable, and also you see in that same question there's an equals to sign, automatically it should tell you that it's an exponential equation. So this power x, which is a letter, the power x is a letter, and you see there equal to, automatically that signifies that it's an exponential equation, right? Now we say solution. Good. Now we go. We say 4 raised to the power 4 plus 2 equals to 3 into 2 raised to the power x, right? Now what is the step? What are we going to do? See here, the first step says, first simplify all the base that have a power that is a letter into a basic term. So what are the base? What are the base here? We have this is a base, this is a base, this is a base, and this is a base. So all the base that has a power that is a letter, we should simplify those base. This is a base, but it does not have a power that is a letter. This is a base, does not have a power that is a letter. This is a base, it has a power that is a letter. This again, do you see? So now we are going to simplify 4. 4 can be simplified into what? 2 raised to the power 2. So 2 raised to the power 2 will give you what? 4. Right? So once these two meet this x, you put this x into a bracket. Plus 2 equals to 3 raised to the power. You see this 2? This 2 is already in the basic term, so 2 always is in the basic term, so you don't need to simplify it to any other basic term, right? 2 raised to the power x. You see? Now what next? We proceed. What are we going to do? 2 raised to the power 2 times x, which is 2x, plus 2 equals to 3 into 2 raised to the power x. You see? Good. What next? What is the next step? Say, put the base, the basic base, and the letter power into a bracket. You see? The basic base and the letter power into a bracket. And the power and the number power outside the bracket. That's what it says. What are the basic base? This is a basic base. This is a basic base. We have simplified into a basic term. So put this base 2 and letter x inside a bracket. Letter power, right? And the number power outside the bracket. Do you see? So now we say 2 raised to the power x. Do you see? The power should be the number power outside the bracket plus 2 equals to 3 raised to the power 2x. Do you see? Now what is the next step? Once we have put the basic base and the letter power inside the bracket, the next step is this, right? We let any letter with the digit inside the bracket. Do you see? Good. Now we go. It says we let any letter with the digit inside the bracket. What are the digits inside the bracket? 2 raised to the power x inside the bracket, 2 raised to the power x inside the bracket. So we let any letter, we can choose m. M be what? 2 raised to the power x. So anywhere you see 2 raised to the power x, you put m. So let m be 2 raised to the power x. Is it understandable? Good. We say 2 raised to the power x plus 2 equals to 3. Good. What next? So anywhere you see 2 raised to the power x, you put m. So m into plus 2 equals to 3 bracket m. You got m is inside the bracket. Right? What's the next step? We say m square plus 2 equals to 3m. You see? What next? Now we have arrived in a what? Quadratic equation. Now we say m square minus 3m plus 2, right, equals to 0. This is a quadratic equation. Right? That's why this is exponential equation leading to a quadratic equation. Now we go how we can solve the quadratic equation. We what? Multiplied the first term, this, and the last term, including the signs. So m squared times plus 2 is what? 2m squared. Right? What next? Now we are going to find 2 terms. If we add those 2 terms, we are going to have minus 3m. If we multiply those 2 terms, we are going to have 2m squared. Let's add them. So we say, and 2 divided by 1 is just 2. So if we add minus 2m minus m is equals to what? Minus 2m minus m is equals to what? Minus 3m. You see, if you add them. Now if we multiply minus 2m multiplied by m, what are we going to have? Minus times minus plus 2m times m is just 2m squared. You see? Good. So now, anywhere you see minus 3m, do you see minus 3m? We are going to put minus m, minus 2m minus m, because minus 3m is just equals to what? Minus 2m minus m. That's what minus 3m is equals to. So anywhere we see minus 3m, we are going to substitute it. So now we go. We take m squared. Now we have c minus 3m. We are not going to put minus 3m, but we are going to put this, everything inside. So say bracket, what? Minus 2m minus m plus 2 equals to 0. So instead of minus 3m, now we'll put minus 2m minus m. Do you see? What next? We'll say m squared minus 2m, right? Minus m, right? Plus 2 equals to 0. What are we going to do? The next step, we group them. This is what we call group, right? Now find the common factor, right, in each bracket. M is here, so m is a common factor. M into m squared is just m minus m into 2m is just what? 2, right? Minus. Here, what's the common factor? It's supposed to be 1, right? 1 into m is just m. Minus times plus is minus. 1 into 2 is just 2, equals to 0. You see, what is the next step? We take m minus 1. So now we are going to take what? The digit outside the bracket. If you observe, you will notice that the digits inside the bracket are the same. M minus 2, M minus 2, so are the same. So you are going to take 1. And you are going to take what are outside the bracket. This minus 1 and this M, and add them, right? So it's supposed to be M minus 1. You see? So we take one of these brackets. So M minus 2 equals to 0. Right? Good. Now we say what? M minus 1 equals to 0. M minus 2 equals to 0. You see? So M minus 1, if you transpose it, it's going to give you m equals to 1. So when you transpose, it will give you minus, we change to a positive sign. So we go m, we transpose minus 2 in the other part of the equation, is going to give you 2. Anytime a negative sign jump and equals to, automatically is going to become positive. Take note. Now we know the value of m. These are the values of m. 1 and 2, right? So we are going now. What is the next step? Now we are going to reverse, go back where we came from, right? See here. What do we let? We say what? Let m be 2 raised to the power x. So anywhere you see x, anywhere you see m is 2 raised to the power x, the original value of m is 2 raised to the power x. Now we are going to say since m is equals to 2 raised to the power x. You see? And what are we going to do? Anywhere we see m, we put 2 raised to the power x. Right? So m equals to 1, m equals to 2. So what is m? 2 raised to the power x. 2 raised to the power x equals to 1. 2 raised to the power x equals to 2. Do you see? An indices says, and the 0 power. Anytime a number or a letter has a power 0, it means the value of that particular number or letter is 1. So let me say 80 raised to the power 0. Let me say 85 raised to the power 0 is 1. 100 raised to the power 0 is 1. X raised to the power 0 is 1. So anything raised to the power 0 is 1 in indices. Do you see? Anything raised to the power 0 is what? 1. Good. So it's 1. Always give it to the power 0. So since the base here is 2, so we are going to take 2 raised to the power 0 is 1. So 2 raised to the power x equals to 2 raised to the power 0. According to the law of indices. If you don't understand indices, go there and go and watch my video. I precisely taught on that, and I lay special emphasis on it. Right? Good. It's a property of indices. So 2 raised to the power 0 is just 1. So that's it. So once the base, you take the base and put power 0. Anytime you have 1 in exponential equation. Right? So 2 raised to the power x equals to 2 raised to the power algebra. Any number that stands alone has a what? A positive power. So it has a power of 1. Invisible positive power of 1. If you don't understand here again, go and watch my video on algebra. I precisely taught on that. Right? So we go. Exponential equation. Right? Wherein the base, once the base are the same, we eliminate the base and equate the power. What are the base? 2, 2. Eliminate the bases. What are the power? X and 0. X equals to 0. Here again, the base are the same. 2, 2 we eliminate. X equals to 1. You see? So the first value of x is what? 0 and 1. So therefore, the values of what? X is equals x. Value of x are 0 and 1. So these are the value of x. This is your answer. Or you can also say x dot x is equals to 0, 1. Right? Good. So that's it. This is your answer. Good. According to our steps, says what? Solve the quadratic equation. That's what we did. Find the value of the lettered power. You see the lettered power is x, and we have find the values of the lettered power x. Right? Thank you very much. If you don't understand, please replay again the video. I believe you understand precisely. Now we move to example 2. Example 2 says what? Find the two sets of the equation, which is what? 2 raised to the power 2x minus 5 into 2 raised to the power x plus 4 equals to 0. Right? We write our solution. What next? We write our question, which is what? 2 raised to the power 2x minus 5 into 2 raised to the power x plus 4 equals to 0. What are we going to do? The first step here, right, is this. First, simplify all the base that has a power that is a letter into a basic term. Do you see? Now let's see, what are the base? Base 2, base 5, base 2, base 4. These are the base. These are the powers. So what are the base that have a letter? It's these 2 and these 2. But you will notice that these 2, they are in the basic base. You see? They are in the basic base, so we don't need to simplify. If they are not in the basic base, then we should first simplify, because that's the first step. Them into a basic base. Right? So the first step is okay. Second step, say, put the basic base and the lettered power into a bracket and the number power outside the bracket. Do you see? We should put the basic base and the lettered power into a bracket and the number power outside the bracket. Now let's see. This is the basic base. What is the lettered power? It's x inside a bracket, and the number power, what is number power? Is 2 outside the bracket. Do you see? Minus 5 into 2 raised to the power x. Of course, this is the lettered power is inside the bracket, and there is no number power, right? Plus 4 equals to 0. You see? Very simple, right? Now what next? The other step says what? Right? We let any letter with the digit inside what? The bracket. We should let with any letter with the digit inside the bracket. So now let's use y. Let y be what? Okay, sorry. Let 2 raised to the power x be what? Y. You see, 2 raised to the power x, let it be y. So anywhere you see 2 raised to the power x, you put what? Y. Good. We say 2 raised to the power x minus 5 into 2 raised to the power x plus 4 equals to 0. So now anywhere we see 2 raised to the power x, what are we going to put? Y. So say y into, do you see these two continues outside the bracket? Minus 5 all into, this is what? 2 raised to the power x. You put there again y plus 4 equals to 0. You see, what are we going to do? Y square. Y square minus 5 times y, 5y plus 4 equals to 0. Right? What is the next step? We have now arrived in a quadratic equation. The other step says what? Solve the quadratic equation. Right? Look at it. After putting it in a bracket, solve the quadratic equation. Is it okay? Good. Now we go. Of course, if you don't know how to solve quadratic equation, on this channel, I precisely taught on that topic. Go and watch. Everything was into simplicity. Right? Now we multiply the first term and the last term, include its sign. Good. So y squared times plus 4 is just what? Plus 4y squared. You see, after multiplying, what is the next step now? We are going to find two digits. If you add them, they are going to give you minus 5y. Then if you multiply them, they are going to give you plus 4y squared. What are the digits? We say 4 divided by 1 is equals to 4. If we add them, minus 1 minus 4 is going to give you what? Minus 5. So say minus y minus 4 is equals to what? Minus 4y is equals to what? Minus 5y. You see, that's what we have had. So if you multiply minus y, multiply by what? Minus 4y. These two numbers, if you multiply them, minus times minus is plus. Y times 4y is just what? 4y squared. You see it? Very simple. What is the next step? So now we say what? Minus 5y is always equals to what? Minus y minus 4y. So anywhere we see minus 5y, we are going to put minus y minus 4y. You see? What is the first number? This is y squared. So say y squared. What is here? Minus 5y. So we are not going to put again minus 5y, but we are going to put this. So we are going to put bracket minus y minus 4y. Do you see? plus 4 equals to 0. Do you see it? The minus 5y have disappeared. Now we have what? Minus y minus 4. Good. We proceed. Y square plus times minus is minus y minus plus times minus minus 4y plus 4 equals to 0. Now what is the next step? We are going to group them. We group them. Do you see? This is what we call group. Now what are we going to do? We find the common factor for each bracket. The first bracket, the common factor is what? Y. Y is here, y is here. So we take y. So y into y square is just y minus y into y is just what? 1. You see? Y can go into y how many times? 1 times. This is the minus sign, we put it. We find the common factor here is 4. 4 is here, 4 is here. Into 4 into 4y is just y. Minus times plus. See, you always multiply this sign with this sign inside. Minus times minus plus is minus. 4 into 4 is what? 1 equals to 0. What are we going to do next? The next step here, if you observe, the digits inside the brackets are the same. The two brackets are the same. Minus y, here again, minus y. So we are going to take one of them. And also we are going to take the numbers outside the brackets. What are the numbers outside the brackets? We have y, we have minus 4. We take them first. Y minus 4. We put them inside the bracket. Then we take one of those brackets. Y minus 1. You see? Equals to what? 0. What are we going to do? We equate them. Y minus 4 equals to 0. So y minus 1 equals to 0. So we say what? We transpose this to the other part of the equation. So it's y is equals to 4. We transpose this. So it's going to give you y is equals to 1. You see? Good. What is the next step? We go again. Where we want? Let's see here. Let's 2 raised to the power x be y. So what are the value of what is y? So since we say since y is equals to what? 2 raised to the power x. So anywhere we see y, we are going to put what? 2 raised to the power x. So say y is equals to 4. Here is what? Y is equals to 1. So where we see y, we put 2 raised to the power x. So 2 raised to the power x equals to 4. Here again, 2 raised to the power x equals to 1. You see, what is the next step? Now we are coming to simplify everything here into the basic term. Right? 2 is in the basic term, this is the basic term. Right? Of course, anytime you see 1 in indices, it means it gives you 0 power. Right? So 2 raised to the power x equals to 2 raised to the power 2. You see, 4 into the basic term. 2 raised to the power x equals to. Anytime you see 1, it means what? It comes from a what? A 0 power. So 2, since the base here is what? 2, we are going to put 2 raised to the power 0. Because the property of indices says any number raised to the power 0 is what? 1. So you take any number, since the base here is 2, we take 2 raised to the power 0. Exponential equations say once the base are the same, what? Cancel, eliminate and equate the powers. What are the power? X and 2. So x equals to 2. Here again, the base are the same. We eliminate them, equate the power. What are the power? X equals to 0. You see? So we say what? What are the value of x? Say therefore, x and x equals to what? 2 and what? 0. This is your value. Right? Good. From the step. Find the value of what? The letter powered. You see? Good. Very much okay. Please pay attention on these steps. Focus on them. Try to understand them. Right? If you understand them, exponential equation by leading to quadratic equation will be very much simple for you. We move to example 3. Find the value of x in the equation. Right? What is the equation? 2 raised to the power 2x minus 3 minus 2 raised to the power x minus 2 minus 1 equals to 0. Now we say solution. Right? What's next? We bring the equation. 2 raised to the power x minus 3. Do you see? Here, the power here, it has what? A negative sign. Do you see negative sign? Minus 2 raised to the power x, right? Minus 2. You see? minus 1 equals to 0. Now, anytime you see a negative sign up a power, do you see? In exponential equation, you see a negative sign here, a negative sign here. What are we going to do? A negative sign between two digits. Do you see the first digit, the second digit, and there's a negative sign. First digit, the second digit, there's a negative sign. Anytime you see a negative sign, what are we going to do? A negative sign means division, right? Because according to the laws of indices, says in terms of quotients, the quotient law, anytime you are dividing the base at the same, take one of the base and what subtract the powers. That's what gives you the minus, right? Now we are going to say 2 raised to the power 2x divided by 2 raised to the power 3. You see, minus 2 raised to the power x divided by 2 raised to the power 2. So now this minus now become divided by, there is 2 raised to the power 2. Do you see? Here 2 raised to the power 2x. This minus become divided by, they say again, 2 raised to the power. This base 2 raised to the power 3. That's how to simplify it, right? Minus 1 equals to 0. Is it okay? Good. Now, what's next? The next step here, of course, all the base are in the basic terms, so they all get simplified, right? Good. The rule say what? The basic base, right? We should put the basic base and the power letter inside a bracket, and what? The power number, the power that is a number outside the bracket. Now we say 2 raised to the power x brackets 2, see this not power 2 outside the bracket, divided by 2 raised to the power 3, right? Minus 2 raised to the power x, of course there's no number, 2 raised to the power 2 minus 1 equals to 0. Do you see? What's next? Now here, after we have put the basic base and the power letter inside the bracket, the next step say we let 2 raised to the power x be what? Now let's use m. They say any letter we can use any letter. We use m, right? What are we going to do? Anywhere we see 2 raised to the power x, we put m. So 2 raised to the power x, right, upon 2 raised to the power 3 is 9. Sorry, 8. 2 raised to the power 3 is 8 minus 2 raised to the power x upon 2 raised to the power 2 is what? 4 minus 1 equals to 0. We put m. Anywhere we see 2 raised to the power x is m. So say m bracket 2 upon what? 8 minus what? M upon 4 minus 1 equals to 0. Do you see? What are we going to do? So it's supposed to be m square minus upon 8 minus m upon 4 minus 1 equals to 0. What's next? We try to remove the fraction, right? By finding the LCM. This is not a fraction, so we make this a fraction by giving a denominator of 1, right? What is the LCM between 8, 4, and 1? Is 8, because 4 can go into 8, 1 can go into 8, and as well 8 can go into itself, right? Good. So 8 into itself, 1 times. So say m square, right? Minus 4 into 2 into 8 is 2 times. 2 times m, the numerator. 4 into 8, 2 times. What is the numerator? Is m. You put it bracket m. Right? 1 into 8 is how many? 8 times. Minus 8. What is the numerator? Is 1 equals to 0. You see? So say m square minus 2m minus 8 all upon 8 equals to what? 0. What is the next step? The next step here, we what? Cross multiply. We give the denominator of 0 as well. So for multiply 1 into the numerator is just what? The numerator. M square minus 2m minus 8. If you multiply this 1 times the numerator, 8 times 0 is just what? 0. Any number multiplied by 0 is just the number 0, right? Good. Now what will you notice? You will notice that we have now what? A quadratic equation, right? This is a quadratic equation. We solve for the quadratic equation. We multiply the first term and the last term. 8m square minus 8 is just what? Minus 8m square. Do you see? Now what are we going to do? We are going to find two numbers. If we add them, we are going to have minus 4. Sorry, minus 2m. Then if we multiply them, we are going to have minus 8. So we say 8 divided by 4, which is 2. So if we add 2m minus 4m, is going to give you what? Minus 2m. If you multiply 2m minus multiply by 4m, is going to give you 2 times minus 4 is just what? Minus 8. M times m, m square. So it's going to give you this term the way we if we multiply them. So minus 2m, what is the minus 2m is equals to? Is this minus 2m is equals to 2m, right? Minus 4m. You see? Good. So anywhere we see minus 2m, we put 2m minus 4m. Now we come. So say m, what is here? Is 2m, m square, plus what? 2m minus 4m minus 8 equals to 0. You see the middle term. So now we say m square plus 2m minus 8 minus 4m minus 8 equals to 0. What is the next step? We group. We group them. Group. Right? Now we'll find the common factor in each bracket. What is the common factor here? It's m. So say m. M into m square is just m. Plus m into 2m is just what? 2. Right? What is the sign here? It's minus. We put here minus. Right? Now we go. And what is the common factor? It's 4. Because 4 into 4m is just m. Minus times minus is plus. 4 into 8 is 2. Right? You get it? 2. And what are we going to do? If you notice, the digits inside the bracket are the same. Right? 2 plus m plus 2, m plus 2. So we take one of them and we take the digits outside the bracket, which are what? M and minus 4. So m minus 4 into another bracket, m plus 2 equals to 0. Right? What are we going to do now? We say m minus 4 equals to 0. Right? M plus 2 equals to 0. You see? What's next? The next step is here. We say what? M we transpose equals to 4. M is equals to minus 2. Right? Now we come again. Let's use this little space we have. Now we come again. What is n? We say here, we let 2 raised to the power x be n. So now we say since m is equals to 2 raised to the power x. So anywhere we see m, we put 2 raised to the power x. So m is equals to 4. M is equals to minus 2. Right? So we say here, what is m? M is 2 raised to the power x equals to 4. Yeah. M is 2 raised to the power x equals to minus 2. Now what are we going to do? We simplify. 2 raised to the power x equals to 2 raised to the power 2. Right here, 2 raised to the power x equals to 2. Any number that stands alone, it has a power of a positive power. Do you see? Now what are we going to do? Cancel the base, so x equals to 2. Here, cancel the base, x equals to 1. Right? We say therefore, x dot x is equals to 2 and 1. These are the value of x. Is it understandable? Please, if you don't understand, replay again the video. I believe you understand precisely. Oh, there's a minus sign here. Okay. We'll still put it. Right? Good. So that's it. Thank you. Now we move to the next question, which says, example 4. Solve 3 raised to the power 2x plus 1 minus 28 all into 3 raised to the power x minus 1 plus 1 equals to 0. Good. What are the steps? Now we write the equation. 2x plus 1 minus 28 into 3 raised to the power x minus 1, right, plus 1 equals to 0. We go. And Anytime we see a plus, if it is a minus, of course, the previous question we solve. If it is a minus, it's division. If it is a plus, anytime you see a plus between two digits, the first digit, here is the first digit, and this is the second digit, a plus as a power, automatically it came from what? The reciprocal of the product law of algebra, right? Which anytime the base are the same in terms of multiplication, we say we take one of the base and add the powers. That's what give you the addition, right? So say 3 raised to the power 2x times 3 raised to the power 1 from indices. Once the base are the same, we take one of the base and add the powers. The base are the same. Take one base, 2x plus 1. That's what give you this. Do you see? Anytime you see a plus between two terms as a power. Minus 28 raised to the power. Here is division from indices as well. 3 raised to the power x divided by 3 raised to the power 1. Right? Good. Plus 1 equals to 0. Is it understandable? Good. Now we proceed again. Now we come now. The rule says what? Of course, the first rule says we simplify the basic term, the base into the basic term. Of course, this is 3, and 3 is already in the basic term. All the letters, the base that have a lettered power, they're all in the basic term. Right? The second rule says we put the basic base and the lettered power inside a bracket and the number power outside the bracket. That's what we are coming to do. See, what is the lettered power? Is x. What is the number power? Is 2. So 3 raised to the power x, 2 outside, times 3 raised to the power 1 is just 3. Right? Okay. Minus 28 into 3 raised to the power. Okay, this place is too tiny. Now let's say 3 raised to the power x into times 3 raised to the power 1 is just 3 minus 28 all into 3 raised to the power 1 x, right? All upon, this is just 3 as well. 3 raised to the power 1 is 3 plus 1 equals to 0. Good. The third step say what? We let any letter with the digit inside the bracket. So we let any letter with the digit inside the bracket. So say, let 3 raised to the power x be what? Now let's use anyone. Let's use y again. Any letter y. Do you see? Now we go. So anywhere we see 3 raised to the power x, we put y. What is here? 3 raised to the power x, so put y into what? 2 times 3. Do you see? Minus 28 into, what is at the numerator? 3 raised to the power x. We put y upon 3. Right? Good. Plus 1 equals to 0. What are we going to do? So say y square times 3 minus 28, right? Bracket y square upon 3, right? Plus 1 equals to 0. So y square times 3 is what? 3y square, right? Minus 28, right? Into y upon 3 plus 1 equals to 0. What are we going to do? Try to remove this bracket. 3y square minus 28 times y is just 28y upon 3 plus 1 equals to 0. Now this is a fraction. Anytime in mathematics, anytime a fraction stands with other number that are not fraction in an equation, we make the other number that are not fraction a fraction by giving them a denominator of 1. So because of this, we give this one a denominator of 1, this is a denominator of 1. If you want to understand this rule precisely, please go and watch my video on algebra. I precisely took my time and thought on that topic. Right? Now what is the LCM of between 1, 3 and 1? Is what? It's just 3. Why? 1 can go into is 3, 3 can go into 3, and 1 can go into 3 as well. Right? So 1 into 3 is just 3 times. Into what is the numerator? Is 3y square. Right? For here, 3 into 3 is just what? 1. So put 1. What is the numerator? Is 28y. You see, the numerator is 28y. Plus 1 into 3 is just 3 times. 3, what is the numerator? Is 1. All equals to what? 0. You see, what are we going to do? We try to remove the bracket. So 3 times 3, 9y square. Right? Minus 3 times 28 is minus 28y. Plus 3 times 3, 3 times 1 is 3. all divided by 3 equals to 0. What next? We try to remove the fraction by giving a denominator of 1. From there, what? We cross multiplied. Multiply the numerator and the denominator here, multiply here and here. So 1 multiplied to the numerator is just the numerator. So 9y square minus 28y plus 3, right? Equals to 0 times 3 times 0 is just 0. 0 multiplied to any number is just 0, right? Now we have a what? A quadratic equation. Of course, the same step. And the exponential equation leading to quadratic equation, we keep on doing the same step, right? You just see. If you don't understand example 1, you understand example 2. If you don't understand example 2, you understand example 3, right? Now proceed. And 9y squared times 3 is just what? 27y squared. Very simple. So say 27 divided by 1, it just gives you 27. So 27 minus 27 minus 1 is just minus 28. So which is minus y minus 27y will give you minus 28y. See the middle term, minus 28. Now if we multiply then, minus y multiplied by what? Minus 27y. It's going to give you minus times minus plus. Y times 27y is just 27y squared. You see, it's going to give you the middle term, right? So say what? Minus 28y is equals to what? Minus y minus 27y. Very simple and very easy, right? Now we proceed. Anywhere we see minus 28y, we are going to put minus y minus 27. So the first digit here is what? 9y squared. The second digit is what? Minus 28y. We are not going to put minus 28y. We are going to put this. So minus plus bracket minus y minus 28y. That means we substitute the value of minus 28y, which is what? Minus y minus 27. Minus 27y. You see? Minus y minus 27y. Good. Plus 3 equals to 0. Is it understandable? What next? So sec 9y squared plus times minus minus y plus times minus minus 27y, right? Plus 3 equals to 0. Is it understandable? What's next? We group them. Group. Now we have two brackets. In these two brackets, we are coming to find what? The common factor, right? Not always when you are grouping, you will leave the sign middle. A sign must be at the center of the two brackets. Good. Now we go. What is the common factor between 9y squared minus y? It's just y, eh? So here is what? Y into 9y is just what? 9y. Y into 9y squared is just 9y. Minus y into y is just 1. Y can go into y 1 times. Minus, do you see this minus sign? We put it. What is the common factor between 27y minus plus 3? It's just 3, right? 3 into 27y is just 9y, right? Good. 9y plus 3 minus times plus is minus. Here is supposed to be minus. Good. 3 into itself 3 times. 1 times equals to 0, right? 3 into itself 1 times. Minus times plus is just minus, right? Now if you notice, the number inside the digits inside the bracket are the same. 9y minus 1, 9y minus 1. You see, this is a minus. Good. So they are the same. We take the digits first outside the bracket. We have minus 3 and y. So say y minus 3. For here we say what? We take one of these brackets. 9y minus 1 equals to 0. Right? Now we proceed. So we say and y minus 3 equals to 0. 9y minus 1 equals to 0. Right? So we say we transpose. So y is equals to 3. We transpose. Here, what are we going to do? Here we are not going to transpose. So find the value of y. So 9y equals to, okay, we transpose this 1. Divide here by 9. Divide here by 9. This cancels this. So what is remaining? So we have y is equals to 3 Here is what? It's remaining here 9. Y is equals to 1 upon 9. Do you see? Now we have the value of what? Y. Now we come again, we say since y is equals to what? What y is equals to if we go back from where we came from? Y is equals to 3x. So say y is equals to 3 raised to the power x. Right? So anywhere we see y, we put 3 raised to the power x. So say y is equals to 3. Y is equals to 1 upon 9. Do you see? Now we go. Anywhere we see y, we put 3 raised to the power x. 3 raised to the power x equals to 3. Y is what? 3 raised to the power x equals to 1 upon 9. Good. Now what are we going to do? We are going to take the inverse of this. But let's go. In algebra, in exponential, any number that stands alone has a power of 1. In algebra, yes. This cancels this. The base are the same. What is remaining? X equals to 1. Right? Here, we are coming to solve. 3 raised to the power x equals to, anytime you see 1 into any number, you take what? The inverse of that number. Let's say, for example, 2 raised to the power 2 upon 1 is the same as what? 2 raised to the power minus 1. So you see, to remove the fraction, you give the negative power, right? And 1 upon 4 is just what? 4 raised to the power negative power of 1. Here again, 1 upon 9 is just what? 9 raised to the power the negative power of 1. 9 raised to the power minus 1. Do you see? What are we going to do? So 3 raised to the power x equals to, we simplify 9 into the basic term, which is 3 raised to the power 2. 3 raised to the power 2 bracket minus 1. These two meet this one there. Right? What is the next step? So 3 raised to the power x equals to 3 raised to the power minus 2. Now the base are the same, exponential, where we will cancel the base and equate the powers. Cancel. So x equals to minus 2. So what are the values of x? We say therefore the values of x, right, are what? 1 and minus 2. You see? Very simple, very easy. Please, if you don't understand, I advise you replay again the video, right? I believe you understand precisely. Thank you very much.